And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lines on the top. Ravuka boy kumi Raimona. Ravuka asked for Raimona. It seems to be a contradiction on Shem and Lakish. The Tzina Tamon, we went over there. If a guy says I want to bring a mincha from barley, and of course there's no such thing. I mean, there is a sota, mincha sota is from barley, but a regular guy cannot bring a mincha sota. It has to be a sota in order to bring a mincha sota. So a guy says he wants to bring mincha minasorim, yavi minachitim. He should bring from wheat. He doesn't bring from barley, he brings some wheat. Because he said mincha, so therefore he brings, and has to bring from wheat. This reason which we just said, he said mincha. So there, Reish Lakish says you got to bring because you said the word mincha. But here in our mission, where a guy said Harini Nazir mina equal minat vela, so he said what's the reason why it's a valid neder? Not because he said the word Nazir, but rather because of kinuyim that grogeres I meant. I mean that the grogeres and the dvela, because grogeres is called tirosh and wine is also called tirosh because of that free association. Why doesn't he say over here the same logic used over there, which is because you said the word Nazir, right? And so says the Gemara, Isla, really, you're right. Isla, you hold to both svaras. You hold to the svara of that you mentioned the word Nazir, and you hold to the svara that of Kinui. Isla Mishum Shoti Nazir's me. Puapi, Isla Mishum Kinui. Teda Shukeish, this is true that he held his way. That's Nina, and we learned to the next mission in the Perek. Amar, if a person says, Amma Parazu. This is outlandish, but a person says, you know what this cow said? This cow said it's a Nazir. So that makes the guy who said that a Nazir. Klumba Amar Parazu. So it says, the Gemara asked, Klum Amra. Did the para actually speak? Instead of Amarta to Shaitar, so change it to Ella. Or the next word, he takes the word Amarta, he changes the next word to Ella. Ella Mishum Shotzin Nazir Satochpid. Rather, the reason for the next Mishnah is because you said the word Nazirus. Even though the cow doesn't say Nazirus, you said Nazirus. So Reish Lakish must hold to that logic in the next Mishnah. And because also, here also he holds, Mishum Shotzin Nazir Satochpid, because he said the word Nazirus, that's enough. And besides that, it's also Mishum Kinuyim, because of Tirosh being common language for grogros and for grapes as well.
This changes what we said yesterday.
Right, there's no nafkamina anymore. Yeah. There's no agreed Rabbi Yochanan, when he said Harini Nazir min path from bread. You're also being Nazir because you mentioned the word Nazirus. Okay? Says the Gemara, Kol Shoris B'Sham Shel Lashon Nazirus. Any language can be a kinui for Nazirus. Chutz Lashon Carbon. Instead we said the word carbon because carbon and Nazir are mutually exclusive. And that's a Kol Shoris B'Sham Shel Lashon Carbon. Any language that connote carbon, Chutz Lashon Nazirus, except for language of Nazirus. So therefore, for example, Amar Leshko, a person said to a grape, he should be locked up for speaking to a grape, but he was telling it to a grape, to a cluster of grapes, right? He said, Amar Leshko, he said to a cluster of grapes, Koli ani mimcha, I'm barred from you. Parashani mimcha, I'm separated from you. Monu ani mimcha, I'm curtailed from you. Hareini nazir mimenu, Monu ani mimenu, Hareini nazir mimenu, or if of course he said Hareini nazir mimenu, Hareini the nazir is a nazir. If he said Hareini like carbon, if he said he wants the cluster of grapes to be cut bottom like a carbon, lo sarah love el shein carbon, then indeed it's not Nazirus. That taka makes it a carbon. Like a carbon, which means that it's also because a regular netter, but not a netter of Nazirus. What? Yeah, but no, but he's addressing the grape here. Saying the grape is like a korban. So even he said korban tziporim, I don't think it works. Because it's not saying I should bring, tziporim. It's saying this is like tziporim.
Why is Kaluya and Yimam, Kaluya and Yimam is
Kala means closed off.
okay, but he's answering, as a header, so that's also closed off.
No, you're right. This has to be the case like you said yesterday when we asked him, what did you mean to say? And he says, I meant to say Nazirus. And that Lashon works. But if you said korban cannot mean Nazirus, even if you meant it that way. Okay? If a person said to a loaf of bread, not to grapes, now obviously, the loaf of bread, it's like a nether, it's like korban, it's not nazirus. So a person said, the kikar loaf of bread, same word, I'm curtailed from it, barred from it, partial. I'm separated from it, I'm refraining from it, prevented from it. Hareo like korban, or if he said it should be upon me a korban, lo sarava el shem korban. The only makes it into korban. Already Nazir man, if Prince said they want to be Nazir man, Hareu Nazir is a Nazir, of course, because we followed since he said the Lashon Nazirus. Okay, period. Hain manua. Even though he said I'm a Nazir from bread, but since he said Lashon Nazirus, that makes him Nazir. Hain manua. The word manua, barred or prevented, Yerushalmi Nazirus, and can connote Nazirus, the Lashon korban. And connote a korban as well. Ahein eshkol. Also, a person said about a grape cluster. Either one of the Lashonim is korban or Nazir. They're mutually exclusive, but they don't work. One would make him a Nazir on the grapevine, and the other one, the grape cluster, and the other would make him also on the grape cluster. It works either way, depending on the tent. Amar Leshko. What? That. It's like that. Okay. Says Mark, now, that would be if he knows what he's saying. He told us what he's saying. What if he said, I don't know what I meant? Same, the Nazir clutch factor, right? Said, I said Koli, but I said Koli from a cluster of grapes, but I don't know if I meant Nazirus or Korban. So what's the status? So, it's Luchumra. Amr Leshko, says since the person said to an Eshko, Koli Hani Mimenu. Bolo wants to eat it now. Omelo we say, well, the Dami you Kadosh, you consecrated, you made it a korban. So therefore you have to if you want to eat the grape cluster, you have to redeem it, you have to pay money, right? Okay, fine. Pedoil, so he redeems it. Bolo now he comes eat it, he'd say, oh Merlo, he'd say to him, lo Nazir, you're a Nazir. Because since we're calling him either, we give him both chumras. That he's got to pay for it, and that he's also to eat it nonetheless. Okay? He does not have his cake and does not eat it either. Says the Gemara. Yeah, he could have, but we wanted Dafka to. That's right. Okay? Now.
Why is this Lashon all the way at Yimam? Why is that considered that he's answering his object, not answering himself either? He says the object,
it's ambiguous. Because he is called because he's answering himself, because he's called because he's now made it to a korban. Could be either, it's an ambiguous language. That's the whole point.
We can make it into a korban, he doesn't say, this is the korban. He's not saying, vegetables kona. He's saying, for me it's us.
No, koli doesn't mean kona. They're saying that it means the actual korban. It's a tremendous chiddush, but that's what we're saying. Koli can actually be an actual korban. That is curtailed from it because it's like a korban. Yeah. It says more, similarly, Amr al-Kachim is back. If you said to an animal, went up an animal and said, moo, or you said it differently. You said, Amr al-Kachim is back, say to Kachim is back, Harei zeh tachazeh. Animal number 2 is instead of an animal number 1. Under it. Tumura is an exchange, Tumura is one language of exchange. Raliv is another language of exchange. Rezu Tumura said, I'm sorry, I read it, I punctured it wrong. Or I skipped that one, actually. Kol L'Shar, I skipped a whole bunch of lines. Kol L'Shar is Mishamshi Lashon Chilu. Any language can be redemption, Chutzi Lashon Tumura, except for Tumura, which means exchange. And we know when you try and make Tumura, both animals end up Kaddish, right? Vice versa, Kol L'Shar is Mishamshi Lashon Tumura, all Lashonis work for Tumura, Chutzi Lashon Chilu, except for Chilu, which means redemption. Now, what if it said the country was there? One is instead of the other. Tumura said the language of Tumura, Khalifezu, the language of exchange. Harezu Tumura, then in that case it could be Tumura. Zumuchulelas, but if you said this redeemed on this, Eina Tumura cannot be construed as Tumura. Now, vice versa. Amei al-Kachim is back, Berek Habayis. You said so it's made from Berek Habayis, which is you don't make Tumura on that, rather you redeem it. Harezu Tachazu, this is instead of that one, or Chalivezu, this is the exchange of this one. It should be according to those words Mechulelis. How's that? That's about Chil. The tufts of Adamim, and the second animal becomes its value becomes hektish for the first animal. So he said Tumurazu, he said Tumura, the second animal cannot be construed as being switched for the first animal, being redeemed for the first animal, because Tumura and Chilu are mutually exclusive Lashonis. Tani Rabbi Yoshe said, Rabbi Yoshe taught us, Chalifezu Tumurazu, person said Chalifezu Tumurazu, lo asar klum. That doesn't, excuse me? I'm sorry, lo amar klum. He said Chalifezu or Tumurazu, they're both, according to Rabbi Yoshe, a language of Tumura, and therefore it doesn't work by Berek Habayis, because by Berek Habayis you can't make Tumura. You don't make Tumura in a korban, not in Berek Habayis. The time Rabbi Yoshe, we learned Rabbi Yoshe said, Chalifezu Tumura, I just did that, right. Now, Lahain, there's a word Mr. Korban puts in, I think Tachas. We said the word Tachas, Mishamesh Lashon Chilu v'Lashon Tumura. It can be either redemption or exchange. Now, what's the chumrah here? Following case. The learn this case like the Shaitar is Yisrael, who's the easiest. Elay Kachim is back. If you have an animal which was designated for his back, not for Berek Habayis. These Chilu, these Tumura, they can have Tumura and Chilu. How so? Kachim is back, you have Kachim back, Shekadim Ekdesh is moved, they were Hekdesh, and then they got to move. So now you want to redeem it, right? So you bring up another animal for either redemption or its more purposes. We don't know which one it's going to be, right? And he said one of the ambiguous languages, Harezu Tachazu, right? This is instead of this one. So now we sakatsuya both ends too. Bala Akriv to Mima. If you want to sacrifice the whole one, right? In other words, the animal number 2, because you think you made Tumura, and then you want to sacrifice animal number 2. Armel always said, no. The second animal is not Tumura. L'damea kadsha. This is when you said zu tachazu, you were not doing Tumura, but you were doing Chilu. So therefore, the second animal is indeed wholly like a korban, but you have to make up the difference. If the first animal was worth $500, the second animal was only worth $400, you have to make up the $100 difference in the redemption process. Right? You can never shortchange hekdesh on the redemption.
Still a korban?
What?
Still a korban?
No. An animal given to Hektish. You need to be on a Baal Mum. Doesn't have to be on a korban. On a deer. However, what if now you paid the difference between the cost of the animal which you're using for chilul and the original animal. Now, after you did that, if you come now to eat the Baal Mum, I'm sorry. You can't eat the Baal Mum. Omer lo, you say, you thought you were redeeming, but you weren't redeeming, because it's Litzmura Kadsha. In Tzmura, the first animal remains Kaddish. So, Al-Khumra is like this. We say, when you want to say it's Tzmura, we say it's not Tzmura, it's Chilul, and you have to make the difference by paying the difference in money. And when you want to say it's Chilul, we say it's not Chilul, it's Tzmura. And both animals are Kaddish, you have to say. And you have to, if we want to redeem the first animal, you have to start off from scratch and redeem it again for its full price. Okay? Period. Oh, actually, it's not period. Where do we say? What? There is no point. Once the Torah forbade it and said you get malchus and it doesn't become Tzmura to boot, there is no point. There's no point. It's an exercise in futility which just gets you nowhere. I mean, it gets you worse off than when you began. It's an Avera, basically. No, you can have the rest. Huh? They're okay for 1 or 2 chips, but then they get kind of annoying. And what Paz tells us, for Yahu Tzmura so yeah Kodesh. It and it's Tzmura Kodesh. So therefore, there was no chilul at all. It says Gemara, finally, no, that's not necessarily the case. Yitzhak Bar Elazar says, it's basically your complaint. He says, no idiot is going to make, well, maybe an idiot would, but nobody in their right mind is actually ever going to make Tzmura. So therefore, the a priori assumption that he didn't mean, if he uses an ambiguous lashon of zutach hazeh, so we say, even though it's ambiguous, he surely didn't mean Tzmura. Because you're going to have malchus for it more. You don't get any benefit, so therefore nobody would have made any Tzmura unless they actually said that they were going to go and do such a cockamamie stupid thing like that. Okay? Finally, a similar thing. Any language can constitute a lashon of erchin. Erchin is the set value of the base of Mikdash. At the end of this week's parsha, I believe, right? Erchin, isn't it? Okay? So, it's okay, I need it. Now I need a Diet Pepsi. Sorry. You don't know your socks. Okay. In Baltimore, they have this. The floor was a simple floor, but the oral, the stages, the steps up to the arm were padded, were carpeted, but a good shag carpet. It wasn't like here, it was shag. So at night, like after 12, I felt I could already take off my shoes. I wasn't the only one. A whole bunch of people just took off their shoes and sat down in the shag, leaned back, and then that was a pleasure. All right. What? Chevron, the people didn't take off their shoes in the basement. They do? How many?
Start lighting up.
Start lighting up after 12? Aside. So there's alright. So at any event, Amar Yitzhak Bar Elazar. Yitzhak Elazar said, next line of language. Damim and Erchin are exclusive because Erchin is the set value of the Torah. Damim is relative to your value in the slave market. So, vice versa. Everything is the language of Damim, which is a set value. So, a person says, it says Amar Adam, but if it could be Amar Adam, probably better. Or maybe he's talking about another person. He wants to give another person's erech. So he says, Liolai, his ilui, his values upon me. Sidura olai, his arrangements upon me. Shumo, his estimate is upon me. Olai. Erko olai, or Erko olai, no sin is Erko, he gives erech. Dama of olai, he says Dama olai, the money, no sin is Dama, he gives the, not the set value, but the slave value. I hang shum.
Dama is, which one is?
Erech is set, Dama of is relative. Has to do with how much is worth in the market. No, honest. Erech is the second one. Domim is the variable one. You'll see this Shabbos. Trust me on this one. You know how far did you get in the Chidam? Not very far.
No, we had
Probably? No, you didn't. Masech Erech is right. No.
Erech Olai, where it says,
Erech is said it's 50 for an adult, 30 for adult male, 30 for adult female, it's said. Okay, so name it. Ahen shum, you say language of l'shum, b'shamish loshen erech and loshen dom, it can either one, right? So, ahen odom, if it says about a human being, isbei arachim, isbei dochim, domin, there's erech and domin. So therefore he gives an erech higher. And that's why we said to a person, his estimate is upon me. If he's a handsome man and he's worth more than the erech, no saying it's dummy, you give the dummy. If he's ugly and he's worth less than the erech, no saying it's erech, you give the erech. Beishamai says that it's the nodor v'nozor. In the case of the way I'm going to explain it, like the carbon Eidah. I like the Pnei Moshe. The Pnei Moshe says that it's going to have the ratio when Beisha Anoider Mina somebody says he's taking Neder Nazir from the Grogros in Avela. So Beishamai says Nazir v'Nazir, he's a Nazir, same time he's Tak Osati Grogros in Avela. He didn't say it for naught. He said he's a Nazir from Grogros in Avela, so it works, right? He is a Nazir from Nazir, and besides that, he can't have. What's the matter? What? It won't take the dollar bill? Yeah. It won't take. Here's. I have 50 cents. You have a dollar, fresh dollar bill? So what? Oh, here's a nice one. There you go. Okay. Beishamai Noder v'Nozer. It's both. Beishamai Eino Noder v'Eino Nozer. It's neither. A person, he was just babbling away. So it's neither. That's a new dollar coin. No machine's taken yet, though, I'm sure. All right. This looks like a quarter. All right. Omar, halacha base.
that I was thinking of, you see somebody sentenced to death, it's a skila to say, Erko Olai.
Then there's no erech.
So there's a machlokas, whether or not.
Oh, okay, that's a different issue, right?
Dama Olai, in which case he has no anything, or Erko Olai, in which case he owes.
It's a set value, so he owes it no matter what. Okay.
I wonder why they don't have, I would say, let's say, Kol HaLashonos and Shamshi, Lashon, Neder, Lashon, and Dom.
That's true. I don't know. Of course, this also is only in the Yerushalmi, not in the Bavli. This language, Kol HaLashonos, Shamshi, and X and Y. It probably is not an exhaustive list. Yeah, it's just happens to be three examples of things that you're supposed to learn, infer from this and everything else. Amar, Allah base. Person says, Amar Parazu. Person says, wow, this cow just said Haranian Nazira. Imometas, it said, the cow said Haranian Nazira, in mood. Haranian Nazira, Imometas. I'll be a Nazir if I stand. Or Imometas if I stand. Or Amar Adel says, you know what this door said? Haranian Nazir Niftach. The door said I'm a Nazir if I'm opened. Yerushalmi says Nazir. Yerushalmi says baloney about the cow and the door. You're the Nazir for having said Nazir. But sorry, Eda Nazir, not Nazir. Amr said Avshor Beishamai when Beishamai may does not become a Nazir. Parazu Korban Imamerasi. Prince says that this will be a korban if it stands up. Then the animal is the animal can become a korban. Depends. Moshe brings down whether you stood it up or it stood up on its own. But theoretically, this could be a language which makes an animal to a korban. If you said this cow said it's a korban, so then the cow becomes a korban as well. Okay, no, it's not in the Bible. The guy sees the guy walking by. Amir says the following: look what this guy said. Same thing the animal said in the Mishnah. How it should be instead of a razor, Hareini Nazir. The guy said Hareini Nazir. Hava Damar. Is it as if he himself said it, like in the Mishnah? You say a cow says it, it's as if you said it, right? So here too, it's as if you said it. Or Nazir, since Goyim can't become Nazirim, Lomar, it's nothing. So actually, it would be worse than the cow, right? Because if you say the cow said you're a Nazir, you become a Nazir. But if you say the Goy said you're a Nazir, it's a Nazir. So then he's a Nazir. So then you don't become a Nazir for having said that. Is that clear?
The cow can't become a Nazir, just like the Goy can't become a Nazir.
Right.
It's an animal.
But in the Mishnah it said that even still, Beis Shammai says the guy becomes a Nazir, right?
They use the word Nazir.
Right. So what about? So we're asking according to Beis Shammai, what about if a guy says it? If a guy says it, since a human being said it, so then even Beis Hill might agree to that, right? Or you can say even Beis Shammai would agree by a guy that it's worse than an animal, because an animal can't. An animal, it's not excluded from being a Nazir. It's like in a different realm. But a guy is excluded from the zero, so therefore his statement has no meaning, or saying that he made a statement makes no meaning at all. Even according to Beis Shammai.
Actually, I would think it's better that the Goy said Nazir, because he can actually talk. He can say,
Well, that's the first son, Hava Damar, because he can actually talk. And therefore he said that it's as if so it works. Yeah.
The story is, I remember when I was running insurance, he wants to get this cow to stand up. And therefore he's saying this cow is so frustrated, the cow, he says it's as if this cow is afraid of becoming a Nazir. It's as if this cow made a neder that if she stands up she's going to be a Nazir. Or it's as if this dela, this door won't open. He's trying to bust it open. He says it's as if this door is like going to be a Nazir if it opens.
That could be, but the Yerushalmi doesn't take that into account at all. No, doesn't take into account his frustration or anything like that. It's just plain technical and legalistic. That might be in the Bavli, although I looked at the Bavli briefly, I don't recall seeing that, but could be. But Yerushalmi doesn't take it into account.
But I mean, even if you say that, obviously, it's something.
Right. Anyway, we do extrapolate from our Mishnah. Nishmina minato, Omar Parazu. He said the cow said it. Kluma Marad. Does the cow say anything? And Mishum Shoti Nazir's Pivi. So why is it called Nazir? Because he expressed the language of Nazir. So to even by where he says the guy said it, because Shoti Nazir's Bitoch Piv. So therefore, it also is considered to be a Nazir. What about Lo Yisrael over now? Here's a very interesting case. He saw a Jew passing by. This Yisrael said, Haray, instead of Haray again, Hareini Nazir. Right? Now, skip the next two words. I'm going like, or the Mashbiach change the next two words, Lo Amar to Anochi. So it's Rei Ma'amar Yisrael said, Hareini Nazir Anochi, which is superfluous, but same thing. Anyway, just take out the Lo Amar. Since Am Yisrael, it's possible that Itaka said such a thing. Finally, we hit something. Maya Taka said it. Even a guy, he's not going to say I'm a Nazir, but he's Yisrael might. So have a damar. Is it as if he actually said it, right? Or have a damar. I'm sorry, the Mashbiel puts an Anochi here. Have the Mar Anochi Kain Nazir. He also is saying, I'm also a Nazir. Oh, Ein El Kashoina Tvaro. Or on the contrary, maybe he's only saying over what the Yisrael said. In other words, a cow's not going to say it, a goy's not going to say it, but maybe talking about Yisrael, he did say it. So that's the shot. Is Yisrael better? Yisrael Taka might be Mazer but Nazir. So who would agree if you said, oh, look, the Yisrael says it's going to be a Nazir, that can make you a Nazir? Or is it even worse? No, because by a cow or a guy, since if he's not going to, it's obviously a lie. The cow or guy didn't say anything about becoming a Nazir, so it's you want to become a Nazir. But maybe here, you're talking, telling over what the other Yisrael said.
Yisrael himself wants to be a Nazir.
Right, right. Again, Oenel Kashona Dvaro, and the Mashbiach changed the next word to 3 words, Velomar, and therefore my Naziris doesn't apply to me. V'kachani Oimer, because I say, V'kachani Oimer, similarly to I say, Hoya Kor B'Torah, a person who's reading the Torah, and who gets the Parshas by Midbar, Parshas Nosel, he's Kir Nazir, and he mentions Nazir, does that make him a Nazir? Does it make him a Nazir? Obviously not. So too, maybe since he's saying Yisrael said, it doesn't make him a Nazir as well. Okay? Murray doesn't answer these questions. This question. Ish ma'olat pislo Naziris b'lashon isha. And a person say, I'm a Nazira. Right? So Tamar, they said over there, Ha Nazira Abra. That's in Bavel, they talk and say, Nazira. Even when talking about males. So we see Nazira can be a language of Naziris even for a male. What about? What? They probably say with an aleph. They probably do it with Aramaic, right? Good point. Put it Aramaic with an aleph. Isha ma'al at pislo and Nazirus b'lashon ish. Can a woman become Nazirus by saying she's a Nazir, not a Nazira? Rabbi said yes, because kohatz moine kor Nazirus b'lashon ish, right? The whole language used in the Torah is always in masculine, right? Isha isher ki afler nid lindor neder Nazir lahazir. It says there. Okay? Now, Acha Tamara the Para Acha Tifta Chadelos. What if the guy said that the guy says this cow said it'll be a Nazir if it stood, so we say Acha Tamara Acha Tifta Chadelos. Until the cow stands, or until the door opens, is it a Nazir? Is he a Nazir before that, or only if these episodes occur? From here, Beishamim Kula Nazirim. Beishamai says they're all Nazirim. Now this is not talking about our Mishnah, but rather it's a case later on where there are people walking down the road, and somebody came opposite them, and one said, "I'm a Nazir," that this guy's a Nazir. And the other guy said, I'm a Nazir, this guy's not a Nazir. Because they're taking a bet, very strange bet, taking a bet, and it's based on the Nazirus where the guy approaching them was a Nazir. Right? So Beishamai says that no matter what, Kulam Nazirim. Whoever's right, they're both Nazirim. And the reason that is because Beishamai's neder tos is a valid neder. Even neder taken on, unless specified explicitly, even taken on a mistaken impression, it's considered to be valid neder, right? So they're both Nazir. Beisomrim, ein Nazir elamisha lo niskaimu dvarav. The only one who's a Nazir is the one whose words were not fulfilled.
I'm a Nazir if he's a Nazir.
I'm not a Nazir if he's not a Nazir.
What was it talking about here?
One who said I'm a
Nazir should have plural.
No, Pliny is a Nazir. That this guy's a Nazir. Oh, you're right. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. The two guys were in the room. One said, I'm a Nazir if this guy's Pliny, not if this guy's a Nazir. And the other guy said, I'm a Nazir if it's not Pliny, right? So in that case, Beis Hillel said, Yerushalmi says they're both Nazirim, no matter who he was. Beis Hillel Omer, Ein Nazirim El Mishu Lo Niskayim L'Dvarim. Only the person who penalizes himself. It says, if I'm wrong, then I'm a Nazir. Only that person's Nazirus takes effect. Person says, I'm a Nazir, this guy is so-and-so, his Nazirus doesn't take effect. Only the guy penalizes himself when Nazirus takes effect. I don't know why offhand. I didn't look it up, so I'm not sure why. It says the guy penalizes is the one who becomes a Nazir. Says, if it's not so-and-so, become a Nazir, not the guy the other guy. Anyway, be that as it may. So from this we learn the Shaitar so just replaces the entire next two lines. He says, Hadam Ara, this teaches us, I feel, because the next lines are really relevant to the end of Parakeh. Hadam Ara tells us, Afilu, instead of the Omer say right for the Korban Edom. Afilu Amda Para, even if the Para did not stand, I feel like the door was not open. Beis Shammai Omer, Shammai says, Nadir v'Nazir. Now here we're not talking about a nether, it's just Nazirus. Nether here is just left in. But Beis Shammai says it's a vow Nazirus, Beis Hillel remain Nazirus. Why? Because, again, according to Beis Shammai, you don't need to see the results. No matter what the results are, this guy is a Nazir because he mentioned Lashon Nazirus. As because Beis Hillel, it depends. We have to wait to see the results. The guy penalized himself to make himself Nazir as a Nazir if its penalty takes effect, but not vice versa. And here too we say a similar idea that Beis Hillel says in our Mishnah that it's not a neder. One talk is not Nazirs for either of them.
Well, he says here that the door won't open. So the door doesn't open at the end.
He wants the door to open, though.
Door open.
Then he is a Nazir.
So the door didn't open.
So he should be a Nazir. He should be a Nazir, right?
Means that if he was wrong, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. He says, I think that's wrong. It turned out not to be wrong, and then it was enough.
Oh, so Pnei Moshe, I don't know why, I guess I was spacing out when I was preparing today, but Pnei Moshe changed to the Girsa. Very important change. It's a Loni, Beis Hillel, Ein on the Zir Elami Sheni Skymu Devarov. Should be Sheni Skymu. Okay?
Right.
So that makes sense.
Here,
Yeah, so no matter what, it's not Nazir. No, it's not Machlokas over there. If Ruvain says, I see that guy in the distance, I'm a Nazir if he's a Nazir. And the other guy says, I'm a Nazir if he's not a Nazir. So one of them will be a Nazir according to Beis Hillel. Whoever comes out right. Now makes much more sense. So Beis Shammai says both of them are Nazir requires. Because Beis Shammai, since the Nidre Tolos works, so it doesn't matter what you say. So here too also, it doesn't matter if the door opens or the cow stands, no matter what you're in, it's in the zeros. But according to Beis Hillel, whoever's right over there becomes a Nazir. So here, if the cow doesn't open, if the door doesn't open, or the cow doesn't speak, or the cow doesn't stand, so then he's talking not a Nazir. Okay? According to Yerushalmi Nazir, a Nazir no matter what the cow or the door does. According to him, it's only if the cow or door fulfills his wishes. Okay? Very good. That says Yerushalmi Nazir. If the door doesn't open, or the cow doesn't stand up, it's not Nazirus. Muslims if they pour a guy a cup of wine. I'm a Nazir man. I'm a Nazir in this cup of wine. I'm a Nazir to Nazir. There's more. Says Mishnah Ma'aser B'Shabbos, a Ma'aser individual, a woman. Shoyes Shkoras, who was drunk. I don't think I've ever seen a drunk woman in my life. They poured for a cup. Farmer, she said, Iranian Nazira. She didn't mean to become Nazira. Like a korban, she meant to palming like a korban, which of course doesn't work because Lashon Nazira doesn't make a korban, right? So it says it's the same thing. Doesn't use the words Machsur Messer because it's not Yerushalmi language. Masnisa, the beginning of the Mishnah is V'she'ena Yochel, where he can't bear it. That, in other words, that he, not that he can't bear it, that he can't drink. Since he can't drink, so we say he was makabel upon himself Nazirus. Okay? Ava Yochel, but if he can drink, then it's just that he's drunk right now. So in that case, we say that it's not true Nazirus. So if he can't drink, so we say it's true Nazirus. But if you can drink, it's just that he's drunk. So the other thing is that children might be shalosh is the shkoras. Most gulas, of course, they pour the cup. Amaray Nazir Meno. She said she's Nazir. Or Chacham said lo niskav nazu elo kloimar arei like a korban. Show him at the vehicle a korban, right? So it depends if she was not able to drink, right? So there.
If she's drunk, then like she can drink it.
She just wants to bar herself from drinking any further, right?
She wants to stop herself.
So let's make a mikdar milsa, right? So stop herself from the Averos.
She can't drink it. So why is he saying it? Obviously, he means it to be long term. Anyway, he can't drink it.
Right. Anyway, it's on country wine. It's very good. So Barucham leiskam zuel klomar reilu like a korban. Yerushalmi Nazir said, I feel lashon korban eino. So I have a lashon korban. Lama she'ena kovei lov lo naziros b'lashon korban, lo korban b'lashon naziros. You can't do it. You can't make korban b'lashon naziros nor naziros b'lashon korban. Now that we said already earlier today in the Gemara. But the truth is, I realized after this, Rabbi Yehuda argues in this. Rabbi Yehuda halacha alpha and halacha beis in the Mishnah said in both cases that Nazirus can't serve as lashon korban. Chacham Nazirus can't serve as lashon korban or korban as lashon Nazirus. Well, yeah, just on halfway. Rabbi Yehuda said, parts of korban, you will see that if you said in the language of Nazirus, it does make it a korban. So whether we said the Nazirus can't be korban still can't be Nazirus, that's only in Rabbanan, not in Rabbi Yehuda. Okay? I'm a Nazir, person said I'm a Nazir, I'm an Asher, Shoyse behind, on the condition I can still drink wine. B'yam Matan Mesim go to Levias. I mean, a Nazir is a Nazir, but you can't do that kind of stuff anyway. Yodani Shish Norm, and it's got some Norm, Alani, Yodesha, Nazir also behind. But I didn't know that a Nazir was also wine. And the ratio he knew he wanted to stipulate. The same he didn't know. Aray's also behind, nevertheless, he's a Nazir is also to drink wine. I'm sure Matir Shim allows him to drink wine. The artist. Vice versa, that Isha Nazir also behind. I know that a Nazir can't drink wine. But somebody to Chachomi Matirmly. My Chacham would give me special dispensation. I can't drink and live without wine. Right? I thought they give me dispensation because I'm a grave digger by profession. I raise the mutter chacham say he doesn't have to keep his nazirus. And Shimon says he has to keep his nazirus nonetheless. Now the Yerushalmi Bavli learns that this is totally in master mashkos b'torah, not master mashkos b'torah. Right? If you're master or the master mashkos b'torah, so it's stipulated in our form of nazirus. The old Enodam Master Mashkosa Batera, he has to accept the Nazirus as delineated in the Chumash, right? The Yerushalmi is slightly different kick. Masnisa the Raimeir. I'm sorry, Raimeir. The Raimeir Tzarech Lichbol. Tell you have to say it tonight. Awful. Why does it work in the Reisha? He didn't make a double tonight. He didn't say if X and Y, if not X, then not Y. So that's why Taka becomes a full Nazir. But had he made it tonight, Kaful, according to our Gemara, he Taka would not have become a full Nazir. He'll only become a Nazir to the extent that he accepted upon himself. Right? Says the Gemara, over there, which I guess in Bavo, that said Divrei HaKolu. This works out even like Rabbi Huda. Okay? Who always says, I don't know if it's Rabbi Huda, whoever says you don't need a Tanai Kafel. Amrlo, and he said when he heard this, we don't know who was talking here, but the guy who heard it said, Shmor v'shamata. Now that you heard, watch this at that which you heard, meaning make sure to retain this memory. Masnisa Raimeir of Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema, that our mission is going to grab Meir or the Krivit ben Tema. The Tani we learned with the Raimeir is that it's that you need a Tanai Kafel. If Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema doesn't hold some Tanai Kafel either, it's an issue where he's still part of the mission. Why? Because the Tani we learned this is your get. On the condition that you should not fly in the air. So time say I'm going to ground. You shouldn't walk over the Mediterranean in your feet. Hooray the get. It's a valid get. Now why is it a valid get? Because you can't fulfill the condition. Because you say the condition is so outlandish, so unbelievable, that for sure he didn't mean the condition to do any more than cause her internal anguish. But the get he was willing to give nonetheless. Right? So I raised I'm not sure the condition. I raised that. Well, actually, the Reisha, I'm sorry, I got confused. The Reisha it's Pasha again, because he said, I'm not sure so she won't fly in the air. She shouldn't pass in a boat, so she won't pass in a boat. That's not the Chiddush. The Chiddush is the next one. If he says, I'll give you the condition that you fly through the air. I'm not sure you walk on water. Ain't no get, then it's not a get. But Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema Omer get, he says it is a good get. Why? Amr Yisrael said, you should know, according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's just looking for a reason to divorce her. And we want to be nasty to her, and well, actually, she had a plot to divorce her. I guess the better word, not wanted, but he had a plot to divorce her, and he wanted to make life miserable for her. And the court said, and therefore he made stipulations which are impossible. So we say, since you just to make her anguish, Kamishis Kaim Tanaya get who. So if the condition was fulfilled, you don't need to make an additional. You don't need to fulfill this outlandish condition. So in any event, be that as it may, Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema hold that if only there are people here. What? Yeah. So Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema could be the author of our Mishnah also, because Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema says that a Tanai which is outlandish is null and void. So here to our Mishnah, you say, I'm a Nazir, but I'm not going to drink wine. That's outlandish. It's not because of Masa Mach Torah like the Bavli, but because ludicrous Tanoim we ignore. So the basic principle of Tanoim, we usually think of Tanoim as intrinsically connected to the actual contract, but it's not necessarily true. Tanoim could be a separate thing. Tanoim are milsa, the Dover Acher, Tanai Dover Acher, the Bavli says. So if the Tanai is so outlandish, just ignore what you say. And the Maisa is still Maisa. So you say, I'm a Nazir, but I'm going to drink wine. So Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema, we just ignore it. And you're a valid Nazir nonetheless. Okay? So it says the Gemara again. Time to Rabbi Yehuda to Shlov Dor Sheni Yichol Lamot. So Kamishas Kaima tonight. Beget Humas Nisa on our Mishnah. The Begetu and it's the same thing with our Mishnah. Now it says more further. Mas Nisa should be below the Rabbi Shimon. Our Mishnah is not like Rabbi Shimon. Which Rabbi Shimon referring to? Rabbi Shimon pointed to Shlo Isnadik Derecham and Isnadik. Rabbi Shimon says exempts a person because he didn't do it properly. This is a guy who said they want to bring a mincha from barley. So we said earlier today it brings from wheat. Shimon says no, you didn't make it properly, so therefore you're exempt. You don't bring anything. So to hear by Nazir, what should Rabbi Shimon say? If he said on rain Nazir the mutar b'yayin, so it shouldn't be a Nazir at all. It should undermine the entire Nazirus, right? So says the Gemara, Rabbi Shimon Levi, Shani Ushashiga Tagtik Lachas. Yerushalmi Levi said, no, here it's different. There's no such thing as a carbon from barley, right? What you said is shtuyot. It's a meaningless statement. But here, you conceded you'd be mazing yourself from part of the Nazirus, right? You retained the Isser to get haircuts, or the tiglachas, right? So therefore, that's why it's a valid. The Rabbi Shimon here might hold that it is a valid Nazirus. Even though there he holds that when you volunteer barley for a carbon, it's meaningless because there's no such thing. But here, when you volunteered part of the Nazirus, maybe the Nazirus is, or at least a partial or whole Nazirus. So says the Gemara, Rabbi Yirmiyah asks, if he left over the haircuts, and more the Basra, let's look at that, and which he is accepting, and more the Basra, look at the end of our own Mishnah. You want to talk about Rabbi Shimon? It says, Harez Lasser, the Tanakh holds, as long as you took a partial Nazirus, you're Nazir. For Rabbi Shimon Matir, Rabbi Shimon, it says in our Mishnah that you're not a Nazir at all. What happened? Harez Shir Tiglachas and Tuma. He left over the haircut. He left over the Yisrael Matamil Mason. So how can Rabbi Shimon poter? How can Rabbi Shimon exempt him here? If Rabbi Shimon holds whatever part of the statement it was not contradicted by part of your statement can be fulfilled, and as long as it's not a complete lack of reality, then it carries through. So here come out Rabbi Shimon says for being a Nazir. So that's a more fascinating answer. Shani, here it's different. You know why it's different? Because Mishum Psichas Neder. Rabbi Shimon holds it's not. He is a Nazir, but he has a Pesach on his Nazirus. What's the Pesach? His Pesach is he stipulated, I don't want to be a Nazir from wine. So of course there's no such thing as a Nazir without wine. But that's a Pesach on his Neder. His Neder was being a Nazir. He has a Pesach on the Neder that he wants to drink wine. That's that's over here Rabbi Shimon says you're potter. Enochnami, once since he retained something, so he should be a Nazir. But in Nazir, in Pischoima, with the Pesach, it built into the net, right?
Well, that's the case where he said,
I'm a Nazir, I want to drink wine. What? No. What?
That's the case where he said,
Right. Same idea. Right, it's even better, right. You can see it's a better Pesach. He says, I don't know if wine is also, right. So yeah, it might be charatza, but either one would work. So wait a minute. Imishum psichas neder. Amar basra. Look at the next phrase. Harez mutar. Rabbi Shimon Oser says it's mutar, and Rabbi Shimon Oser the exact opposite. The end of Mishnah says I know Nazir is also to drink wine, but I thought Chum would be matter to me that he becomes in a Nazir outright. What happened to the Pesach, right? Where's the Pesach? So Rabbi Shimon Omer, ain't no psichas neder. No, it's different. Shimon holds that's not a Pesach. Rabbanan Amri psichas neder. Rabbanan hold it is a Pesach. Why? Rabbi Shimon it's not Pesach. More doesn't explain, but it's obvious, right? It's not Pesach because you knew it was also like Bino just said. In the middle case, he didn't know if it's also. Said I'm a Nazir, but I don't know if Nazir is supposed to drink wine. That's a Pesach. But he said I know a Nazir is not allowed to drink wine. I'm to become a Nazir anyway. On the condition I can drink wine, right? So then we don't listen to what he has to say. It's not a Pesach. Pesach when there was a lack of knowledge at the time. Truth is, Dr. Stel, you see a Charata wouldn't work. Because looking dafka for a Pesach. So which he didn't know at the time that he took the nether. So it seems a little specific for a nether, a Pesach. So what? So wait, so why couldn't Rabbanan Amri Psichos Neder Ulama? Couldn't Rabbanan why it's a Pesach? And they should control and nitra b'chayav. Because the Pesach is not his awareness, but because he said I might not be able to live without it. So that's why that's the Pesach, his life. Because he hasn't yet gauged whether he can live without it. He's just stipulating that might be a problem. That's about Pesach. Nichel Ishos Yain. Understand drinking wine could be your life. But Litamil Mesim, to be Matamil Mesim, how's that your life? What's the Pesach there? So the Pesach there is this Mendel principle. Umnoso Koiver Mesim. He's a grave digger by profession. So what's his life there? His livelihood. Okay, we'll stop here. What did you want to ask, Peter?
No, that's it.
Okay.